Hi, I'm Sage. Welcome back to the Addictive Wellness channel.
Hi guys, and my name is AnnaBlanca. Today we would like to tell you why we chose to get our genetic testing done and what was our experience with it. I had my first done at 2002, quite a while ago, and it has helped me quite tremendously to take charge of my health and remain very healthy and I would say youthful. For example,
I would say too.
Thank you very much. You always say the sweetest and the nicest things to me. And
It's my specialty.
I know when there's a genetic reason for that, but we will get back to that later. Okay, so where was I again? Yes, genetic testing. I am very grateful that my nutritionist at the time told me to get it checked. For example, I learned that a genetic testing done, it's really not your fate, it's not your destiny. You can just get this great information that you can use as a tool to make decisions that will make sure that certain genetic expressions will not go the wrong way, but go the right way. So it will be switched on, that's good, and don't switch on if it's not good. And whatever you do, actually, you eat, you drink, you breathe, you think, your environment, everything is going, it can change your genes, and whatever you do, it can actually affect not just your health, but your children's and grandchildren's and generations down.
Just like she said, your genetic expression and what actually ends up becoming your real life experience is affected by everything that your body experiences, from what you eat to what you drink to the air you breathe to the parents you're raised with to the thoughts that you're thinking on a day-to-day basis. So
Wow.
The power is in your hands. And
It makes me feel really good about this whole genetic thing, isn't it?
yeah,
I like the
It's
power
nice.
in your hand.
me too.
Oh, it's your turn or my turn? One of our turn, right?
Your turn.
Turns out it is my turn. For example, when I got my genetic testing done, I found out that because both of my parents had the chance of getting heart disease, I kind of got the double whammy as well. So by now, I could have had hypertension, coronary artery diseases, but because of my lifestyle, I was able to make some great lifestyle changes, and I will never get it. I have a very strong, very happy, very powerful heart, and it beats for you, my darling.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you have a healthy heart with lots of longevity.
Thank you.
Something I found out on my end with my testing was that I have what's called the MTHFR mutation. This has actually been talked about quite a lot in the last couple of years because so many people actually have this. And what happens with this mutation is that you don't break down folate very well. And folate breaks down into lots of other chemicals, which break down into more chemicals. And it's kind of this cascading tree. And if at the top, I'm not able to break down folate into 5-methyl tetrahydrofolate, I'm not going to be able to produce everything further down the chain. So I'm able to supplement with 5-methyl tetrahydrofolate, and I can avoid the challenges here. So you want to, in this case, supplement with 5-methyl tetrahydrofolate. And
Can I say 5-methyl tetrahydrofolate? I remember when I learned it, I was extremely feeling successful.
yeah. And you don't want to be taking folic acid because that's going to build up as a dangerous toxin in the system.
Yeah, folic acid. I don't like folic acid.
Not good.
Yeah, not good at all. And they give it to all the pregnant ladies. Anyhow, moving on. I found out, for example, when they were checking different detoxification pathways and how they've been expressed in my genetic way. I learned that there are phase 1 and phase 2 in a detoxification process. And sometimes certain gene expressions, changing the enzymes, how they are expressing and how they are detoxing in a body. Phase 1 could sometimes speed up or slow down depending on your genetic polymorphosis and how it's been expressed and how it's been changed according to your lifestyle. And if phase 1 speeds up very much, but phase 2 doesn't speed up with it, you can sometimes end up with a toxic substance that's even more toxic than the original toxin that you started out with, which is really not a good thing. But sometimes if your enzyme slows down a detoxification process, then this is when you can end up with certain drug reactions and that you would have to take medication. For example, I can never take a blood thinner and I can never touch an aspirin. It's a good thing to know, I would say.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's important information to know about your blueprint and how to make sure you end up with the results that you want, like not dying.
Oh, and also, I had a problem with that with my estrogen. because my estrogen was detoxing so quickly in phase 1 and accumulating in phase 2. So I had to make sure that I don't do anything that would give me extra estrogen or bad estrogens, because they would have had a very carcinogenic way of showing up in my body. So I'm quite happy that I knew about that.
And another interesting thing that I found, and this is really fascinating for me because it impacts my daily life in such a significant way, is that I have a double positive COMT gene. And what that means is that when I produce neurotransmitters like dopamine, epinephrine, and norepinephrine, I produce them as a normal person would, but I don't detoxify them as well. So I can build up significant amounts of them. This is an upside, which is that it gives me the ability to focus really well, learn quickly, retain information, gives me a great filter so I don't say things that I shouldn't. And
but he says all the most perfect things in the most perfect time, all the time.
Thank you.
I'm so grateful for that.
I'm grateful that you're grateful. On the other hand, I do have certain risks that I'm dealing with because I'm producing these neurotransmitters at a normal rate but not getting rid of them fast enough. They become irritants to my nervous system. And what this can result in the long run is things like manic depression, paranoid schizophrenia, things that I am really not interested in dealing with. So what I do is I am a total magnesium junkie. I take things also like reishi mushroom that help me chill out. I know how to take breaks from work and go surfing and do yoga and all sorts of things that help me balance my situation out. And because of this, I'm allowed to enjoy all the benefits and not have the long-term potential downsides. For example, if I have coffee, I feel spectacular for a little while as I'm enjoying all these neurotransmitters, but then they become irritants to my nervous system and I feel actually really sad for a few days, which is no fun. So I know to avoid things like coffee and yerba mate, which can be great for a lot of people, but they're just not good for me.
And I also learned that it's very important for me to stay away from solvents and try to stay away as much from car exhaust as possible. Living in Los Angeles is not very easy, but there are other ways that I can detox that. I can't eat grilled meat, none of these things. But this stuff that's so random, it's good for me to learn to try to stay away from them because it has very strong and very strongly impacting my life in the long run. So I like this knowledge.
So the thing to remember, your genes are not your destiny. Your genes are just what you're starting out with, and what you do with them and what you create in your life is up to you. Thanks so much, guys, for joining us. Please share this with your friends if you feel that they would enjoy learning this kind of information as well. And please subscribe or follow us, and we look forward to sharing lots of other information with you guys on future episodes.
Thanks for joining us today, guys. See you next time.